Welcome back. You are watching live. This is Digital Trends coverage of CES live from Las Vegas. This is pretty cool because day 3, so much tech has been discovered and explored and spoken about, and we've got more happening right now with Ryan Juanita from Digital Trends. Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
Now, we are talking more in the audio capacity, but this is actually something that's super exciting.
It's one of the coolest things I've seen so far. Yeah, it's really, really interesting.
I got to go heads on with this one too, instead of hands on, and you'll
like
know what I'm talking about.
Ears on. We say ears on in the biz.
Oh,
so
is it even a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
My bad, I'm sorry.
It's a whole deal.
Oh my goodness. We have the CEO of Sonarworks, Helmuts Bems here. Now, I want to know how Sonarworks works.
We digitally adjust for headphone sound to deliver exact studio experience onto consumer headphones. And it works very simple. We measure and profile headphones, then the end user selects the headphones they use, and voila, we bring the exact studio sound.
So it's in essence an app. So you've created sort of software data and configurations and algorithms, one might say, to enhance the average or any set of headphones to sound the best that they can possibly be.
Exactly, and the best in this respect is what the sound was in the studio, because if you look for the holy grail in sound, then it's always what it's actually meant to be in the studio. So
at the source, almost.
You can't go better than that.
Right. And you guys can do this with any headphones, essentially.
Any
and
headphones.
you've already mapped how many?
So we have, at the moment, we have mapped 120 headphones. We plan to go to 200 in this quarter. So,
And you recommend these for high-end headphones, for airport headphones, basically anything that you can get, it's going to improve it.
So we've measured headphones in a range from $5 headphones to up to $5,000 headphones. We can improve all of them. The headphones that you start with still matter. The better is the headphone that you have, the better is the end result at the end of the day.
I did want to ask about that because I was wondering if a lot of headset companies were just a bit nervous at this technology because, you're making their stuff better and it's like, but we're better. You're like, well, I can actually make it even better.
I really want to go away from the notion of is it better or worse. At the end of the day, we are solving a problem of all the headphones sound different. And if you look from a sound production point of view, then at some point the sound engineers are wondering, for whom am I producing this? And they end up making a compromise. So the music sounds okay-ish everywhere, but it doesn't sound perfect anywhere. And we are solving this problem by bringing the same sound reference. So it's not about better or worse, it's really bringing about a studio reference.
It's like a clarity filter, almost.
I think what's interesting, so I got to listen to this right before we went on air, and I think I said, damn dude, comma dude. But yeah, the thing about this is we have DSP everywhere. Digital signal processing is a big thing. It's ubiquitous. Everybody's getting into it, or has been into it. But the thing about it is a lot of the time when you hear it, it sounds synthetic. It doesn't really sound natural or organic, but when I listened to what you had, it just sounded clean and clear sound. Yeah. And in fact, I didn't think anything was happening until he hit the disable button, and all of a sudden everything just imploded on itself and it became muffled.
Yeah.
And I have no reason to say this. I was pretty amazed. It was really, really interesting.
So the reason for that is the sound engine that we use behind this technology. We are actually coming from a professional recording studio market. It's been in the studios now for a little over 3 years. The amount of studios using this tech is in tens of thousands. We have 15 Grammy awarded engineers using that. So the technology has reached a limit where the imperfections that you were talking about can be overcome now. And as a human being, you cannot differentiate it anymore from as if I would make the changes physically in the product itself.
And it really is a natural sound. A lot of headphones are super bassy these days, and people like that. But for those who are sort of tired of the bass implosion, or the bass explosion, I should say, that is just sort of rampant, this is a way to get back to clean and clear audio, and that's what a great idea.
And it's actually not just that. So we start by bringing all the sound to a studio reference level, and that's what it should be.
Right.
And from there, we allow users to personalize sound. So we allow to personalize for the amount of bass that you might prefer, so you can still have more bass if you want to.
But it'll be cleaner bass, hopefully.
Yes. Well, the effect is that usually when you do it physically, when you make more bass, you lose the resolution in the mid-ranges and high range. So when you do it through digital technology, you can still have clarity in mid-range and high range and still have more bass. The other thing we add on top of it is we can also now adjust for your hearing loss because the actual adjustment is still done by the same sound engine. So we can adjust for that as well.
Well, and a lot of people are doing the hearing loss adjustment stuff, but for me, it doesn't always sound better. It just sounds different, and everyone has some bit of hearing loss. You start losing your hearing once you're born, you start losing. Oh, you really got me there. But yeah, so, the adjustment oftentimes is different, but I don't know if it's usually better.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I heard from you guys was just sort of natural organic sound.
So, and what you heard was what the studio engineer heard in the studio. And usually they actually do a pretty good job in making music sound the best it can. I mean, haven't you been wondering why these guys are spending, sometimes weeks in a studio perfecting the sound, and then somebody comes and says, hey, I can just improve on that. Well, I think you can't. Like, you really have...
Yeah, exactly. I've been the guy in the studio till 4 in the morning with a cymbal over and over again trying to make sure it sounds right, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's maybe the most vexing thing about the audio world in general when you come from the professional level. Absolutely. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, we've actually got a live chat happening. We are streaming all over the world, and some people are commenting about this technology in very, very interesting ways. Fisher Bait saying that they returned a set of headphones because the noise was too muddy for them. Is this almost like the solution, so people don't have to return headphones, that they can actually just improve them with the technology and an app?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's a quick answer. Absolutely.
And yes.
Good.
So, and it's a very easy process to actually get the software. You just go on our website, sonarworks.com, and download it and install on your computer. So
right now they just have it for PC and Mac.
Yeah.
Is that right? But you're moving it to phones.
Yeah, and the smartphone apps are coming up Q2 probably.
And you can still listen to Spotify or Apple Music and all that stuff.
From the phone, through the app.
Through the app, yeah.
I like that it's not another accessory that we have to buy. It's not another physical
dongle
thing that we can lose. Yeah, it's already in the phone.
Yeah.
I do have other questions though. Gareth Conroy is asking about the expansion of what kind of sound we get. We're talking about it being studio quality, referring to music only. Are you going to expand in game headsets?
We are looking into that. So our primary target now is really music, but games and movies are right next there because it's all still audio content. So
and even though games are usually bigger, more bombastic sound, you still want clean, professional sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Blake also says, why is this technology limited to only headphones? Would you ever see future plans to have the app apply to speaker setups as well?
Great question.
We actually started with speakers. So our initial technology was speaker, and we then went into the headphones. So we want to focus a little on the headphone market now, and then the plan is towards the end of this year to bring also the speaker technology to consumer market. It's already there in the studio, so a lot of studios use our technology to adjust for the studio monitors. So.
I need to talk. I need to get some of that.
Yeah.
I need to get that from my speakers.
Dreamer wants to know what platforms does the app support?
So at the moment we basically support all platforms. So the professional products support all pro platforms. The consumer products support Mac, PC. We can integrate it into web if we're talking about business to business. And then Q2 we have Android and iOS coming out. So
it's the kind of thing, though, some of the people here are saying you really have to buy it before you try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do have to download the app.
You can actually try it on our webpage without even downloading the software. Just go on a webpage, and you can select your headphones and see what benefit will it give you.
There you go. You were thinking.
Yeah.
I love that the demo that you played for us beforehand, the choice of song was Rage Against the Machine.
You were having a big time.
I was having an eardrum
slamming
session.
the
We don't
eardrums.
need to talk about that.
It was very exciting for you.
It's an interesting observation. You know, most of the time when you go and listen to audio, they will give you, you know, some vocals with some acoustic instruments in the
jazz.
Yeah. It always sounds good because it's just a very easy music material. We are very confident in what we bring to the table, so that's why we chose Rage Against the Machine, because it's a very complicated song to play correctly. So.
Very cool.
I asked this consistent question because it is all about the consumer electronics. Who do you see your ideal consumer being to use this product?
At this point, I'm a music enthusiast, somebody who would be naturally more into music listening. And then now we are in talks with larger music platforms to integrate this technology into the music platform. So I think for a wider market reach, then we're going to go integrating this into existing music platforms.
So you're saying this could potentially be in your Spotify app?
At the end of the day, I think it's going to be everywhere. I think we are talking about a level of innovation on a scale that we had stereo, some time ago, and now it's everywhere. And then we had multi-channel sound. So I believe this is the next thing coming because it makes so much sense.
Wow.
And it actually solves an industry-wide problem.
Yeah. If someone does purchase it on their Mac or PC, and then it does become available on iOS and Android, does it follow through, or do we have to repurchase it for a different device?
No, our philosophy is that we want to deliver it to all the platforms, so you purchase it once, and then the apps are then going to come as an add-on to the PC and Mac software.
Awesome. Very cool.
How many have you got at the moment? Because you're competing on the app market here.
Yeah.
Where are you sitting with that, and how do we get it trending?
It's been just released. So we basically released it in CES. So it's online now, but we're too early to look into the data.
And you just flew in from where again?
I actually had to fly from Philippines back to Europe, and then now to Las Vegas. So it's been like a 16-hour time zone change for me.
So you're feeling really good. Like the rest of us here on day 3.
You probably noticed, you have noticed a lot of people sleeping on tables.
Yeah.
So
no judgment here.
When 8 o'clock hits, I join those people and sleep wherever possible.
I will wrap up this conversation with one last question from Noah Samuel. How much does this app cost, and how much will it be on Android and iOS too?
It's currently a perpetual license model, and it retails at $79.
Right, so then you get it, you can use it with any form of music.
And then the apps are just going to be add-on on top of that.
I'm interested to know, have you got any competition on the market for this, or are you kind of
Not really in this respect. We are actually the pioneer in this technology, so no, not really. It took us 5 years to develop, and we've invested over $5 million now in tech development.
Wow.
So it's not an easy nut to crack.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, by the way, fighting through the jet lag to have a chat with us here at Digital Trends to talk about the latest technology in, I want to call it like audio clarity here for headphones.
Yeah, I think that works.
Headphones, yeah.
Absolutely.
Really do appreciate the time. We do have more here live from CES. We've got Trends with Benefits just around the corner, which is a podcast with experts talking about what you have seen and heard at CES. So stick around for that.